morning. Got Saturday morning, coming up on 11 o'clock, I think, and still looking for something to make bushings out of for that disker. I'm still working on that. I got back into town a little while ago, was helping with a pickup in the yard. Now I'm just looking for the right size of tubing. Alright, let's see what we got here. Let's see what the inside diameter is. It's a little bit bigger than 1 3/4 inches. And outside, 2 inches. I wonder how close it would be. That's pretty close. I think that might be our piece. And there's more than enough to make 6. So as long as it fits inside the bearing and fits over top of the shaft with not too much play, I think we'll be golden. Okay, so moment of truth. Pipe we just found, 1 3/4 inch shaft. Goes over top. That's not a whole lot of slop. Now, does this fit in the bearing? Dang, not quite. Oh, okay, so that's the closest I found. I don't think I have anything else here that has a slightly thicker sidewall in it. That's steel tubing. It's way too thick a sidewall. That's too big. That's too small. I think we'll just have to make that one work with just a little bit of slop that it has. I wonder if we cut it and put a crimp, or yeah, cut it, make a slit in the middle. So here's what I'm thinking. We got our pipe, we got our bearing. Now what I'm thinking is I'm just going to cut the bushing the same width as what the bearing is here. And because it's tight going in here and it's still sloppy on the shaft, I'm going to make a slit just in here, just a straight line right across. That way I can squeeze the pipe so it goes in. Hopefully it's close enough tolerance that it's not too much of a gap in here so we don't have any excessive wear if it rubs or slips. Well, it went in and it compressed together with just a hair line in there. It's even pretty much the right width too. There's a bushing. Let's go see if it fits on the shaft. That's that college education hard at work right there. That'll work. I'm pretty positive this is going to work. A little tiny bit of slop. I do have these set screws. If I had it turned in the right position, I could use it just to clamp it down. I think that's going to be our solution. I think it's got just as much play as the original. Basically, why this race is so heavy. You have the disc up against here, and you have your bearing, and it has a spacer. It pushes up against this big heavy race and squishes in everything tight. At least this is to my knowledge of how this works. The shaft doesn't actually have to be tight on the bearing or extremely snug because you're adjusting how tight everything is right here. So if it's not tight enough, you add a couple spacers, crank that on there. All your pressure is on each side. It's all going to rotate as one unit. At least that's my understanding. I hope that makes sense. Pretty much the same thing. So I'm going to make 5 more of those. And then what I have to do because this one shaft is worn out really bad right here. I'm going to put a couple beads and weld it just around there. Then I'm going to grind it down so it's fairly flat. And there's one spot here, yeah, right here. This is where we were hanging up with that spacer, where I was getting a bunch of trouble with that. So I'll deal with that. It's a little bit, I'll leave it the way it is. I'll get it all put back together. Basically at this point, as long as I have a disc that works, beggars can't be choosers at this point. Well, I'm not exactly begging, but you know what? I have a timeline I got to keep, so that's basically how that's going. I'm already 4 days into this. I can't afford to mess around with it anymore. So I got this all welded up here. It's not terrible, but at least it doesn't have a 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch difference in this area right here in a solid line. It'll definitely be a lot stronger than it was. It's not quite as thick as the original, but I think it's close enough. Dad said just to get it beefed up a little bit. Like this one shaft here is worn pretty good in a lot of places. The other day I had to cut this end off and take all the discs and everything off from this side and cut the flat washer off. Instead of cutting and shaping and doing all that stuff cutting, I have a piece that'll work right here. I'll just use the old race off of one of the old bearings. I'll weld it on. This, I'm gonna get as close as possible. I'm gonna offset it a little bit just so the pieces aren't riding in the exact same spot. That way it doesn't keep continuing to wear and have a weak point. So I got another 15 minutes of welding left to do. And oh yeah, and I have to drill out, where is it here? Yeah, there was a hole right here for a cotter pin, and I couldn't get the pin out. I'm gonna see if I can take a hammer and a punch and really try to get it out of there. I should be able to. That way I don't have to drill. I'd be happy if I didn't have to drill. Then I can have this stuff all ready to go, have my bearings ordered, the rest of my bearings ordered on Monday, and I can put the disc back together. Anyway, I'm gonna get all this stuff done, and then I think I'm pretty much done for the day. Alright guys, I just got finished up. I got the pin knocked out on this one good shaft here. I got the pins knocked out. It's knocked out on this one here too. It's all painted up, welded. I noticed this one is a little bit bent. So I don't know if you guys will be able to see. Yeah. Otherwise, I got everything's all finished up. I'm gonna have to stick that in the press tomorrow when the paint's dry. I'm gonna need a hand with that, so I'm gonna get Dad to give me a hand, or Ezra, whoever's around and available, because someone's gonna have to hold the end of the shaft. Well, one end is in the press, and try to get it straightened out best we can, because if we don't get it straightened out, it's just gonna eat the bearing on the end that's bent. So, but I'm gonna do that tomorrow. Hopefully we get it straightened out, because if we don't, I just wasted the last 4 hours farting around with that shaft. And I don't know how much a new one is. I'm gonna say a couple $100 probably. Just guessing. I haven't priced one out, so we'll see. Anyways, I'm gonna call her quits for today. I'll see you guys tomorrow, either probably in the afternoon. Tomorrow's Sunday, so gonna try to take part of the day off at least. Then back at it again in the afternoon and the evening. Bending that shaft won't take long. It's going to be like hopefully a 10 or 15 minute thing by the time we get everything lined up, press it down. But yeah, anyway, I'll see you guys either tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow evening or Monday. We'll see. We'll see how tomorrow goes.